Today I'm in Warner Park in Madrid. It's the first time I visit this park, of course, here for Batman, but not only, Escape from Gotham City. So today it's a really nice park, at least should be. Lots of attractions. Park that opened more than 20 years ago and never had a new addition apart from this multi-launch Intamin coaster just opened this year. But back then the offering was quite strong. Today I'm going to tell you what's on offer, what I like of the park and what I didn't like of the park. So today is Thursday, so it should be quite quiet, not long waiting times, and let's start with an overview of the main street, which at the end has got this massive drop tower and of course the top hat of Escape from Gotham City. And so here is the recap of the park. I've waited for the end of the day just because it's a park that I've never visited before, so I wanted to experience it and to kind of wrap it up at the end of the day. So what to say about this park? It's a really nice park, especially when you put it in context. So it was opened more than 20 years ago and it hasn't received any new attraction, new ride ever since, apart from this one there that opened this year. Back then it was a really good park because the theming across the park, in the themed area and in the queue line of every single attraction, it's outstanding. We are talking about Universal Orlando standards. Every single queue is breathtaking, and we're talking about the queues of the coasters, of the water rides, of flat rides, whatever. It's really well done. In terms of offering, they got some hero coasters, a couple of B&M, one floorless, one inverted. They got a Boomerang Vekoma, which is crazy, and now they got, of course, the free launches Intamin Batman one. But then they got other coasters, more family oriented. They got water rides, they got areas for kids. They got quite a lot going on, and everything is so coherent, well done, well put together, heavily themed. Really nice. Talk about the coasters, they got a couple of ones, B&M, which are themed in the station, not themed along the track. There is not a lot of theming along the track in any of them, but the two B&M, the floorless and the inverted one, are pretty intense and pretty enjoyable. Then we got this Vekoma Boomerang one, which is a weird one, not so common and really intense. Then of course they got this new triple launch Intamin Blitz coaster, where the queue line, the pre-show are just outstanding, and then the track itself is really nice. It's got few elements, a couple of elements which are really good, like the top hat with the brake run at the end, which is amazing, and of course the zero roll, as usual, you know, kind of Velocicoaster vibes if you want. There are some elements which are a bit less convincing, like the spike, because it's just basically going back into the station, so it's a bit of a wasted opportunity, I think. But generally speaking, I think it's a really nice coaster and can be you can re-ride it quite a lot of times. Then we got the water rides. In terms of water rides, we got the usual three if you want, and they are all wet, all heavily themed. Even the river rapids are so good in terms of theming, and all of them are really wet, which is really good because in Madrid it can be really hot. And then we got, you know, lots of flat rides, and we got all the kids area, and everything just feels nice. It feels alright, right? So it's a kind of a generic 360 degrees theme park. But if you are a fan of their IP, and if you want a park that is gonna make everyone, happy, this is really one to visit. It's really, really good. In context, 20 years ago, it was probably well above the standard in Europe in terms of theming, but also in terms of offering. The problem with this park is that it hasn't received any new ride or new attraction for more than 20 years. And now, yes, they got Batman, thank God, but still, it feels like the offering is a bit outdated. Now, in terms of what I like, so it's the theming, it's the offering, and it's how horizontal, if you want, the offering is. It's like there is something for everyone. What I didn't like, so operations, I'm not gonna judge them too much because of course today it was like a crowd level was 0%. So the queue was actually sitting on the coaster already, waiting for the train to be at least half full before getting launched. That was how we were queuing. And also we were like running one train only, and there was lots of maintenance going on, which is fair enough because the park was dead. But Escape from Gotham City, the Intamin one, had like probably 50% downtime, and they tried to fix it, but they're clearly struggling in terms of how to operate it. And this is an opinion that is based also on other vlogs and other reviews. I know they've been struggling quite a lot. Another thing that I didn't like is like two rides in particular. One is like the drop tower, this one. I think it's a massive missed opportunity because they got 3 different cycles, but all of them are quite mild, and so I think they're not really delivering all the intensity that they potentially could. The other one is the top spin, which again, I mean, of course, we think about Talocan, right? But this one, it doesn't even go upside down, and the cycle is so short. So this one, again, is like a massive missed opportunity. Another thing that I didn't really like is that the park closed at 8 p.m., but in between 7:30 and 7:45, we shut down every single attraction. In other parks, if it closes at 8, you can still join the queue at 8, and then we're gonna get rid of the queue, whatever it takes. But apart from that, it's a really nice park. How long should you stay? I would say a couple of days, because today, despite being like walk on train on anything, it took me like in between 4 and 5 hours to try everything once. And then I started repeating. But with normal queues or longer queues, one day probably is not going to be enough to visit the whole thing. How to get here? From Madrid, when you buy the ticket from the official website, you can get a free shuttle bus from Madrid South bus station, and it takes approximately 30 minutes to get here. Then, in terms of food as well, food offering quite nice. We got lots of bocadillos, so the typical, ham sandwiches of Spain, nicely priced, and there is quite a lot going on in terms of food offering. Also good that despite the park being dead, they still delivered all the meet and greets, all the stand shows, and all the things that were supposed to happen. They were still there. So, say that, I think it's a really nice park, worth a visit, especially now. Hopefully, they're not gonna let this park like die again for another 20 years without any update or any new ride. It's a park that needs to keep, going and needs to be updated frequently. It needs new rides and new attractions constantly. Worth mentioning that there is also a water park, but today was closed, so I didn't visit it. But if you're visiting during summer, why not? You can combine that one. So, is it worth a visit? Yes, it is a nice park. I think yes, especially now with Batman. Just come and try it, and hopefully, as I said, we're gonna keep delivering new attractions, new rides in this park, because it actually deserves more people visiting it. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel.